Hello, this is Timothy Bond with True Bond Publishing Company, and you are watching the third season of The Right Change, where our guest today is Marquis Walker, author of Cevere's Chronicles. Marquis, how you doing, man?
What's going on, Timothy? How you doing, man? How's everything going, man?
Everything's going great. I'm excited to have you on the show. As I was telling you, this is season 3, and time to get back in the groove, man, of getting these authors highlighted. And, you know, of course, I was excited to send out that invitation to you, and you were the first. I mean, you were on it before.
I'm on it, man. Listen, I've been working with you for a year or so. You helped me put out my first book, like you said, Cevere's Chronicles Volume 1. My second book is in production with you and your crew.
Yes.
Waiting for the edits, and I'm just excited to keep this relationship going, man. And when I saw that you had a show, I was like, yeah, she got a show. So I'm like, this would be a perfect opportunity.
Yeah.
To I guess that to help each other in a sense.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So I'm excited, man. First of all, let's tell the people about Marquis Walker. Who are you?
All right, I'm a father first, man. I always tell people, man, like I'm a father first. I got a daughter. She's 23, but she's still my little princess, man. My little baby doll.
Absolutely.
And I'm so excited to be able to mold her into who she is now. She's like such an influence on me. Like she works harder than me. She's just like like a 10 times of me. You know what I'm saying? A stronger version of myself, and she makes me proud every day. She started a nonprofit, and she's starting a nonprofit from the floor up, and she let me intertwine and draw some drawings for, because I have a degree in architectural engineering from Wentworth Institute. So I do a little bit of drawing and doodling a little bit. But I'm a father first. Like I said, I went to school. I put myself through school, actually. Put myself through college, through working jobs, odd jobs and stuff like that. And I got 2 degrees. I got a architectural engineering degree, and I have a facilities management degree. And I just been working ever since I graduated from college, just going straight in. I took a recent break, and that's when I started writing books. And I found you, and I'm so happy that your team is working with me, and we're getting these books out. And so I'm doing that, and eventually I go back to work. But I love hip hop too. You know what I'm saying? And that's what most of the books are about. Most of the books will be about. I got other books and other subjects, but most of the books will be about music and the love of hip hop. Because hip hop saved my life when I was young, and basically, the typical story of a knucklehead in the streets, and what was I gonna do? You know what I mean? I found hip hop on the radio, fell in love with it. I'm taping it every Friday and Saturday, and so it kind of kept me off the streets and kept me from getting locked up, shot, stuff like that. Just a typical thing. And eventually I just kind of like stayed away from certain people, and I started like leaning towards listening to music, writing about music, just being entertained by music, and going on that scene in a sense, you know what I'm saying? And it's more to me, but that's pretty much the wrap up.
Yeah. So I remember I was listening to an interview with Jerry Seinfeld and Kevin Hart, right?
Okay.
And Jerry Seinfeld says, I love people who are obsessed. He was like, and he said, and the more obsessed you are with the smallest things, the more it is that I love it, right? So basically, he likes people who are passionate, who really get involved in something, and no matter what it is, just be obsessed. And so I see, like, with your book and with your passion, you've got podcasts, and we'll talk about that. You said hip hop saved your life, man. Yeah. And So talk to us about how this obsession, this love of hip hop came about. I know you said it kept you off the streets, but I want you to dig a little deeper into that because it's like, what was it that kept you from going out and hanging out with the fellas who were listening to hip hop on the streets? You know what I'm saying? Like, what was it that really kind of changed your trajectory when it comes to hip hop?
Now, I didn't say I got off the streets completely because I still was
okay.
ragamuffin. I still did a little bit of corny stuff that I was keeping for my moms. But anyway,
okay, yeah,
beside the point. But hip hop did save my life because it kind of took me to a different direction. And like when I first heard it, I can't like recall like the first song I heard. A lot of people can remember that. I just listened to so much hip hop, I just can't remember. And it had to be like break beat type of songs, Apache, or records from my mom's that kind of sounded like hip hop, James Brown and things of that nature. I always think hip hop. They say hip hop's turning 50 this year, but I think hip hop's older than that. Hip hop started like in Africa. People rhyme and breakdancing in Africa. So, but it's so like, but how we confined it in New York, from New York and other places and stuff like that, and took it to another level. So it's probably like 50 years plus, I guess. So, but yeah, just the music, just the beat, the sound of it, the way, the poetic, nature of it, the people, how they rhymed and had fun, because hip hop started off fun, it was spray painting, it was breakdancing, singing, rapping, and it was TikToking and stuff like that. And like that got me, away from like my mom's genre. I love my mom's genre of music because if you think about hip hop, steals a lot of it and it puts a lot of samples.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So like it was the best of both worlds. You stealing up from the music that I grew up loving because of my mom's. I love music because of my mother. And then, she played the 45s and the big records. It had the big old record player that couldn't be moved unless it was four people.
Right. Right.
You know what I'm saying? The big wood chest thing. You know what I'm saying? So like, I just have a lot of memories of cleaning the house, listening to my mother's records. Then when hip hop came, I was like, oh, I got my own type of genre. Like in a sense, I didn't know it was going to be as big as this, but it spoke to me in different ways that my mother's music didn't. And I've been a fan ever since, man. Dougie Fresh. I was just listening to the Fat Boys first EP today. That's the first thing in the morning. But I listened to stuff too. But I was like, yo, so I'm told by what I said, yo, why am I thinking about the Fat Boys?
Right.
When first played, man, just started listening to it.
I'm looking in your background. You still got cassette tapes.
I got tapes, man. What you want to hear, man?
I love it.
You know what's funny? Because I had more tapes than this. I just showcased these just because so people know I'm serious about it. It's not like all of a sudden I was born yesterday and I'm like, hey, hip hop. Like I've been doing this for a long time. And when I do my podcast and I do my reviews and I write these books, I want people to like kind of know that I have a base in hip hop and I'm not just trying to use it to, a lot of people using it to get money and do whatever, but this is something I love. I do it for free, really, and I would do it for free. But if you could accumulate money and funds, why not? Right. So I'm starting to do that. You know what I mean? But my whole life, I've just been doing it for free. I love it. And
the money helps you to scale your passion. You know what I mean? So it just helps you to reach more people. What was it that? What was the motivation where you said I need to put this in a book? So first of all, I know that the book is actually, well, I'll let you tell it. The book came from where, and what was the motivation in starting what you started doing with your writing?
It comes from like that kind of like that quote or that, the situation you was talking about, Jerry Seinfeld and Kevin Hart, when I think it's called Comedians in the Car or whatever, right? I think that's where it came from. I watched it.
Comedy Gold Mines, yeah.
Yeah, and like it's the passion. Like my passion for hip hop is, so deep and so intriguing. And I listen to a lot of financial gurus and and I read a lot of books too about finance and family wealth. And a lot of them basically pinpoint, find something you love, find your passion, find something you would do for free, and then eventually find a way to accumulate income. So that's where the books came from. You know what I'm saying? And this is why I do the podcast, is eventually I will get money from YouTube, from the podcast. Eventually, I've been making money off the book. So, again, thank you for your, publishing company. And, and then I've been, and then I'm going to start, of course, do more. and then I want to like bring it to other levels. Maybe do some type of program or something about hip hop. I'm gonna figure something out so I can, capture it some other ways in videos and maybe teach people about certain things, and then also get paid off that. But I'm still working on that. But and I do music too. I produce, and I help other MCs and producers and rappers. I don't really tell a lot of people this, but I do in the background. I help a lot of artists on their music and what they're doing now and in the future. And they trust my ears and they trust my opinion and stuff like that. So I've been doing a little bit of this, a little bit of that, doing some drops on some people's albums, doing some some type of some features, not rapping, but like using my voice and stuff like that. And it's been giving me a little income that way too. So I'm just trying to find ways to get in those pockets and eventually become wealthy, teach my daughter about becoming wealthy, but discover family wealth, and then have my get my family on board. And hopefully I got nephews, nieces, stuff like that, sister, mom, what I'm saying? So I'm trying to get people, friends and family, whatever circle I have, I want them to recognize what I'm doing and maybe get some energy off me, and then maybe find their passion and do a couple of things. And that's already happened. I got friends and family that's finding their energy off me and telling me, thank you, now I'm doing this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And now I'm selling clothes, or now I'm selling jewelry. Now I'm, whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? Selling weed paraphernalia. People are doing stuff that, you know what I mean, that they love to do. Yeah. And they're making passive income. And that's the journey I'm trying to take people on.
Now, you were talking about your daughter being a 10 times extension of you. As you were saying it, I'm thinking, well, she must really be grinding, because I know you are grinding. You got your books, you got your podcast, you got your YouTube, you got your clothing line. Talk to us about, we'll talk about a couple of things you're doing. Talk to us about your podcast that you have going on, and what people can get from that.
So I started off, it's funny because I started off not wanting the podcast, right? You know what I mean? It was funny because I had a cousin that wanted the podcast. So I started setting things up for her and figuring it out. Was her co-host, and then eventually she quit like on the third or fourth episode. So I felt good about it, and I just kept it going.
Oh, really?
And it's called the THHC podcast. It's the Hip Hop Connoisseurs Podcast. Okay. And you can catch it on YouTube. You can just look it up, THHC Podcast. Find it on YouTube, and or look up my name, Marquis Walker, or you can find it in various ways. Find me on Twitter, Instagram. But yes, I interview artists. And what we do is, what I do that people don't do, I break down albums. So like if I'm by myself or with an artist or with a producer, I break down actual albums. So I recently had a guest named Jamal Gasol from New York, Niagara Falls. I had him and the producer VHS on my podcast, and we broke down one of their projects that they did together. And each song I would describe, and then I would say, to the producer, what were you at on this one? And he'd break it down, have a story, and then the rapper would have a story on that same record. So we do things like that. It's fun, and it sparks questions, it sparks conversation like we're doing, and people love it, man. And I've been doing it. I probably got like 135 episodes so far, and my cousin quit on me like on the third or fourth.
Oh, really?
And the other podcast I have a podcast with a friend from Texas, and we never met personally, but because she's from Texas, but we interview guests like yourself. We interview people that just have things going for them, and we kind of cater to hip hop, but we cater it to what's going on, financial independence. If you like I said, if you're a publisher, we're gonna get you on there and try to get you to ask you some questions, open you up, man, just have a conversation, have fun. But yeah, I've been doing that, and that's new. That's like a newer podcast, but I got two podcasts, and those are the two. And that one's called The Formula, DA Formula, like kind of like DOC, The Formula, from Texas, DOC. So yeah, check that out too on YouTube. And yeah, so I love doing it. I think I have a passion for this too. Like I think you can see that I love to talk, right? I can't stop.
Right.
That's in my family, the Johnsons, man. We talk. Yeah.
So when we talk about hip hop, man, all right.
Yeah.
Got a question for you.
Oh.
Hip hop scholar as you are, is hip hop the same from the days of hip hop, a hippie to the hip, and now we got this mumble rap stuff, right? Is that the same, or is hip hop here and then we have these variables of that came out of hip hop? Like, is it, because I think we put everything that's rap into hip hop, and I don't know if, like, gangster rap, I don't think gangster rap is hip hop. I don't think mumble rap is hip hop. What are your thoughts on the nature and the state of hip hop today?
Well, when rap first came out, it wasn't called hip hop. You know, I think it took a year or two for it to be called hip hop. So, but when hip hop was born, in a sense, rap was included. So it was like, you know, it was 5 elements of hip hop, right? And then, you know, it was what, b-boying, which is dancing, you know, rapping, MCing, DJing, graffiti, and what was the other? What's the fifth one? Am I drawing a blank? I think it's a graffiti. I'll get to it. I just, you know, so it's 9 elements now. Like, it's like KRS, the teacher, says 9 elements now, but I'm trying to remember all of them now. Actually, I got them on my arm. Hold on, DJing.
Oh, okay.
MCing,
Got the
yeah, break dancing. Spray painting, you know, graffiti. I got it. So they all. It's my notes are on my arm. Right, this is the 5 elements.
Man,
I'm the other 4 on this
is
arm.
indeed the embodiment of hip hop. When you say you have embodied hip hop, you literally have made a part of you.
But hip hop is you know, the elements. It's like, you know, and you know, not like everything is hip hop. Like you said, gangster rap might be gangster rap, but it's a branch of hip hop.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It's a branch of rap. And I think the roots are, you know, the Run DMCs, the Dougie Freshes, the Melly Mel's, and, you know, things of that nature. The you know, the LL Cool J's, EPMDs, and then, like, you know, then it branches out to maybe like mumble rap, to like gospel rap, to, you know, trap rap or whatever. You know, a lot of other things. So yeah, I think a lot of people, they get it twisted and they put everything into hip hop. Like, everything's not hip hop. Everything could be rap. Yeah, it could be a form of rap, but it's not hip hop. Because if you don't have those 5 elements in your rap, you are not hip hop. You gotta live hip hop. Like I said, like, I'm living hip hop. It's on my skin. It's what I breathe. It's what I wake up thinking about it. I go to sleep thinking about it. Like, it's like a religion in a sense. You know what I'm saying? So if you're not living hip hop, you're not hip hop. Some people using it for a check. They're just trying to get that check. Right. So a lot of trap rappers are like, yo, I could rap and shake my butt or whatever it is and just get a check. Oh, okay. And that's what they're doing. So that's just a branch. It's just a branch. And it's, you know, it simplifies rap. It kind of goes back a little bit to more fun rap, because of how rap started was fun. But I always consider like trap rap and all that stuff kind of more in that fun rap category. And some of it's good, some of it's not. You know what I mean? So to each his own, you know?
Yeah. Tell us about the new book that's coming out. It's you got Cevere's Chronicles. You know what? We haven't even talked about the first book. So tell us about what people can get from Cevere's Chronicles, and then tell us about the new book that's coming.
So the first book, you know, it's Cevere's Chronicles Volume 1, man, and it basically taps into what I do, what I love to do. Like, my first passion is to actually listen to albums, not just like singles. I want to listen to albums, EPs, a full body of work. And what I do is, when I listen to it, I take notes, in a sense. It's like writing essays on each record, right? And the album itself. So what I do is I break it down in my form of language and in what hip hop perceives to me. And, you know, I teach at the same time. So I'll talk about hip hop and the generations prior to us. And, I might give examples of, something that happened with, I don't know, Dougie Fresh beatboxing or something, and Slick Rick or something. But then what I do is, the first book, I said, I can't just come out with all old school stuff because I won't have that crowd. So what I did was mix it. So what I'm doing is mixing the first chronicle is, a review of, Nas, one of Nas's albums, Little Kim's, DJ Quick, Conway the Machine, Shay Noor, Boley James, and more, Taj Malik, people like that. So, it's old school artists, new school artists, people you might not know of. I want people to learn about hip hop and rap music. And this is the first volume, And the guy's my personality in it. You know what I mean? Little class, little funny. I think I'm funny sometimes. You know what I'm saying? A little humor in it. So, and it's just a body of work that will keep you reading and make you want to go listen to that album.
Right.
You know, after you read, you're like, oh, hold on, I want to listen to. A lot of people read this and go, man, I went and as soon as I finished reading the Busta Rhymes chapter, I went and listened to that album, and I'm like, oh,
right.
That's what I wanted. You know what I mean? That's what I wanted. So the second book, Severe's Chronicles Volume 2, I'm doing a little bit different because I'm gonna it's gonna be a lot of volumes off these volumes. So like I'm going to hip hop classics. And when I say hip hop classics, these are like classics that I believe are hip hop classics, and probably the majority of the world of hip hop think they're classics. So you'll see, I'm not gonna say no names and they gotta wait till the book come out and find out how many. I think I did 25 chapters or so. So I did 25 records, 25 albums, and I mixed it. Some new records, some older records. Some people won't be surprised like if they saw like a Nas Illmatic in there, but I break it down the way I break it down. But then there's be some new stuff in there that you can go, who's that? And then you might go listen to that album and go, yo, Marquis was right. This is a great album. And so I'm trying to and it's because of Hip Hop 50. They saying that this is the 50th year of hip hop. So I said this would be a perfect opportunity to talk about all classic albums. Not to say there's no classic albums in the first version, but I just want to say these are my classics, and that's the second chapter. That's the second volume, and then I'm gonna do that. The third volume is gonna go back to just regular reviews, fun reviews, and then I might go. Maybe I do another classic, or maybe I do. I'll figure it out. I'll mix it up, and that's what's gonna happen. That's what volume 2 is gonna be, man. So I can't wait for y'all to read this one, and I can't wait till y'all read the second one. It's gonna be crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
What I love about it, man, you are happy to be sharing the platform, somebody else's platform. You're not getting any, endorsements or any money from these rappers. You just love the genre so much, and you want to share that love with people. And people, believe it or not, this man is getting sales from overseas. So I mean, he's got a love, a passion that transcends just urban America, transcends America. It's felt across the world. So that's great, man. That's great. So I got a little game. I know you probably like drink champs. So maybe I'll throw in a little drink champs challenge for you.
All right. I'm only drinking water, but go ahead, man.
You got your water. All right. So, this or that. All right. That's the game. We're going to see which. You got to answer off the top of your brain which of these rappers.
Okay, do I have to explain or just kind of go?
If you want to throw in an explanation, it's got to be less than 30 seconds though. All right.
All right, cool. We'll do that. We'll do that.
All right. So you ready?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, here we go. Run DMC or Fat Boys?
I'm gonna say Run DMC because they sparked a whole hip hop revolution.
All right, Dougie Fresh or Slick Rick?
Slick Rick, best storyteller, or one of the best storytellers in hip hop.
Okay, Tupac or Biggie?
Biggie, man, because his cadence and his lyrical awareness and his ability to rap off the mind. But I love Tupac too.
Okay, Jay-Z or Nas?
Gotta go with Nas. I've been a Nas fan all my life, man. From he's got at least 4 or 5 classic albums, I believe. Y'all can fight me in the comments, but I love Jay-Z too. He's the GOAT.
Right. Drake or Lil Wayne?
I'm gonna go Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne has a better catalog. He has a great mixtape catalog, and most of his albums are fire, man. He still can spit.
Man, Lil Wayne he's a
problem.
Yeah. And last one, 50 Cent or Kanye?
Oh man, that's a hard one. I wish I could say both and drink. Damn. I'm gonna have to say, Lord, I'm gonna go 50 Cent only because I think they both made impacts in music, but 50 Cent is still going. He's got the movies going, the shows going. His music is still relevant. Classic albums and mixtape game. He did it all, man. So I'm gonna say 50 Cent.
All right.
Yeah,
Now,
Kanye's dope.
I'm gonna throw this in there. This is not part of the game, but does social behavior, you know what's going on with Kanye, does that impact your appreciation of the artist or your support of the artist?
I always separate anything that a person's doing from their music. So, like, I love Kanye's music. When he was a backpack rapper, and they call him, in his college days, but it wasn't college days, his college albums.
Yeah.
And and then I love this movement with the shoes and whatever he did. I don't like a lot of his choices he made with dating and getting married and whatever, but that's his choice. You know what I'm saying? I can't say he chose the wrong people to be around.
Mm-hmm.
But I do believe in healthcare. I believe in self-care. I believe in getting the mind right, and eating right, and hopefully he has a good circle of people around him to get him right, because I think a lot of things were I don't know if he was supposed to be on medicine, supposed to take medicine. I don't know if it was a medicine thing going on, but I believe he needs to, or anyone else, if they you're not feeling well, you're not feeling up to par, get help somehow. And if it's not legal or professional help, find somebody in your circle that you trust and love, and hopefully they can help you change
Awesome.
it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I struggle with that notion of separating the artist in certain ramifications. For Kanye, I'll say this: Kanye versus R. Kelly. I cannot separate R. Kelly from his actions, and that's why I'm like, I just can't. Kanye is like, all right, he doesn't believe but politically the things I believe. I could probably deal with that. It's just when he started talking the whole, black people chose slavery stuff.
That's okay. Here's the thing. First of all, Kanye is not. It's a great conversation because Kanye is not educated enough to speak on certain issues. So you got to give him a pass on that. And then of course, he backtracked and apologized. So I like that. Mm-hmm. But you can tell Kanye West is not equipped to be having these conversations. So when he does say things, you go, okay. You got to go, okay, dude, like whatever. Now, I still listen to his music, even though he's been off tilt a little bit. Yeah. But, you mentioned R. Kelly. I can't forgive. That's one thing I can't do. I can't forgive R. Kelly for what he's done, what's proven that he's done. So I don't listen to R. Kelly at all. Like, I know he's when he wasn't in my mind to be a predator and all that stuff.
Yeah,
I was the number one fan. You know what I'm saying? I love this music. I'm dancing to it. I'm making love to it with all the ladies. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But as soon as that happened, and I shut him down. And this is prior to all this stuff. Mm-hmm. I was in the barbershop when I saw that tape. I'm talking. This is back in the day with the tape.
Oh wow!
When I first saw that tape, and when I was in a barbershop hanging out with dudes, drinking, smoking, doing whatever, and somebody had the tape. And they showed it, and I'm like, oh, snap. I'm like, yo, I'm never listening to his music again. They thought I was joking. I just never. Now, if you playing it in your car, I can't stop you from playing it in your car. Right. But, if you're driving. But, like, if it's my car, if it's my house, my situation, R. Kelly's not being played.
Yeah. I'm the same way, man, after watching the documentary. Because, a lot of stuff in Hollywood is said about people. And it's like, I guess we kind of give people the benefit of the doubt. But once you see proof, then you have a decision to make, and a lot of times people we say that kind of stuff like well, especially as a Christian, y'all shouldn't be listening to that music anyway. But some of these Christian singers, man, they just as bad. Like there was a singer who got arrested. He scalded his daughter in the bathtub with scorching hot water, abusing his daughter. I'm like, well, y'all still listening to this man. He's still singing to this day and still has an audience, but because it's gospel, then we overlook it. But then when it's somebody who's singing something in the world or, it's secular music, then it's evil. So, I'm like you, man. Like once you see the evidence that this person is wicked, is corrupt, man, I'm not going to support that. Didn't want to take it off into that, man.
Hey, man, it's a great conversation, man. I'm ready to speak on anything. Like I said, I got a show, prior to the hip hop podcast that we go deep and talk about every subject you could think of. You know what I'm saying? Worldly topics. So.
Well, listen, man. Let's tell people how they can get in contact with you, like how they can see your podcast. Give them all the information.
All right, man. If y'all on Twitter, y'all can catch me at ittydance.com, and that's ITTYDANCE, Itty Dance, and that's a long story. I invented a dance called the Itty Dance.
Oh, really?
So it's a long story.
On YouTube?
I didn't put it on YouTube yet or TikTok, but I didn't even do it yet. I might. But it's but anyway, that's why the name is Itty Dance on Twitter. Okay. But you can reach me on at Severely Yours. It's starts with a C on Instagram. So it's CEVERELY _ yours _. So Severely _yours _ on Instagram. And you can catch me on YouTube. You can look me up, Marquis Walker, MARQUIS Walker, or you can look up the podcast itself, THHC Podcast, which stands for, again, the Hip Hop Connoisseurs Podcast, where I break down albums, records with artists or without artists. You know what I'm saying? So, but I'm getting a lot of interviews now, a lot of known MCs, rappers, and producers. So I'm starting to get a little buzz. So just got to keep going.
Awesome, man. Well, man, I appreciate you being on the show. Everybody, I want you to like and share this podcast. Share with people. Get the word out about Marquis, about his book, Cevere Chronicles. And let's get this book out. Man, I appreciate you again, and you have a wonderful day, man.
I appreciate you, man. Thanks a lot. Thanks for what you're doing, man. I can't wait to work with you, for the future for more and more books, man. Because I got the financial independence book coming out too. Yeah. I'm talking about finance, and I want a lot of people in hip hop to start thinking about finances and family wealth. So that's a book that's coming down the stream. So